should always have a toolbox with you with select tools. A couple tools we definitely keep is vice grips and wire brushes. And the reason is for spigots. A lot of times you come across an older home, older spigot, these threads are super corrosive. So what we do is clean them up with the wire brush, and it helped us thread this on a lot better, but it still wasn't all the way there. So we needed to use a vice grip and tighten it down all the way. Otherwise water's spraying out the top and the bottom because it needs to be tightened all the way to put pressure on that O-ring to keep the seal completely tight. So vice grips and a wire brush on every job. What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Mr. Lang, Team Wash Life, here with Cold Dog. Me and him had just got done with 3 interviews. I want to do a video on why we will never do a self-contained system in a van. Ooh, I'm trying to hide from the wind. Video on why we'll never do a self-contained system in a van ever again, and why we'll probably end up taking all this out. Our van build has been great. It's been nice, self-contained, very efficient, workhorse. Really haven't had really many issues with it all year. Very efficient. So why would we not want to keep this, you ask? Well, here we're doing an oil change. It's very tough, it's very tight to get the oil change done. We could have solved that issue by getting longer extended hoses, but that would just make too much sense. Our real problem is rust. There's no way to avoid it, boys. Look at this. This van was completely rust-free this beginning of the year, just so you have an idea. Completely rust-free. These quarters. So we have a bag in the door. You can see the bag. Here's the worst side of it. This is all rotted out. All rotted out. We're finding all the weak spots. Had some insulation on the door. So the van doesn't even have 100,000 miles on it, so depending on how much it'll cost to get this repaired, I might end up getting it repaired. But we're gonna take all this shit out, not today, or at the end of the season. We only got a month or 2 left. The damage is already done, but that's why we won't put it in the system. And the reason why it's doing that is we're not just constantly spilling chem in there or some shit, but it happens. You got tons of chemical in there. You're swapping, you're switching hoses and connectors. You're sloshing around, so stuff might spill out of like a little reservoir, out of the tank. Fumes, just the fumes alone, it's rusting. But what's really causing it, stuff is getting on the floor. We got the big water tank in there, which is leaking. Because it's water. I mean, stuff just starts dripping over time, right? So we got kind of a constant drip happening. And so when the valve is open, it drips, but when it's shut, it does not drip. But that doesn't, it's got to be open while we're working. So at the time while we're working, there's water in the floor, and then that water is collecting with any bleach that's spilled, and it's all draining out of the side because we would park, where we park is kind of a slant, so there'll be like drips, and it was all coming out of there mainly. And now that we're parked this way, that's on a slant, it's coming out the back. See the dripping? So it's unavoidable, right? I mean, tell them we're not just spilling bleach everywhere.
It's not even just that. If you look on the inside of the van,
is it rotting on the inside?
Well, you can see certain areas up towards the top, especially. Look at that.
Oh, the hangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like surface.
And then like that clip right there.
What clip?
See the one that's clipped into the door that's just been showing there?
Yeah.
All that shit's just getting corroded.
That's all rusted to shit.
And it's not like we're spilling bleach on that.
Right, it's the fumes, dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah, like the tape has been getting destroyed. All the clips, like the alligator clips, they get corroded.
The alligator clips get corroded to shit.
So
it just needs to be ventilated, but even if it's ventilated, it's like you're gonna spill stuff and it's gonna fumigate. So a van contained system just isn't the way to go, in my opinion. It
Sucks
was.
'cause it's really cool. Like,
It
it's
was.
so nice.
Look at the exhaust.
Yeah, I know.
The exhaust.
too.
It's probably not good for our health to be driving around with all them fumes in there too.
I keep the window down when I drive.
Yeah, I do too, but still. I'm pretty sure we're like frying brain cells by inhaling all this bleach all the time. That or we're like really healthy and sterile and it's killing all the germs.
Could be. I get sick very often. My chest rating's been going down, but I've also been busy. So
Your what's been going down?
chest rating.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I also play on a different website now. One to play that's more competitive.
Nah, I think
Higher tier players.
we're just frying brain cells.
Probably.
I mean, we're essentially huffing,
Yeah. Even when we're working.
you know? Like, I always wonder why I was so giggly at work
I'm always in such a good mood.
and, like, it's just a goofball.
Yeah, and sometimes when I'm having a bad day, like, I'll take like a cup of just like the chem.
Yeah.
Like just knock it back.
Really?
Yeah, it just calms the nerves a little bit. It doesn't burn at all.
Okay.
Yeah, try it, dude. Try it out.
I will. I'll
Don't
give
try
a-
it at home, please. Don't drink.
Yeah, you better make sure they understand your sense of humor before I get some lawsuit of some YouTube person watching my video. It turns out we're the reason someone drank bleach. Oh shit, boys. Interviewing is tough. But it must be done. Some of the big players in the game recommend hiring year-round, just having a big stack of applications. At the top is the best, the bottom's the worst. Keeping that stack on your deck, keeping it going. Is that another one? We might have another interview.